Hey y'all, welcome to Pleiadian Point of View. I'm Peyton with Peyton Energetics, and I'm a Pleiadian channel and starseed coach. So in today's point of view, the Pleiadians wanted to talk to us a little bit about how to navigate the problems in our lives. So according to the P's, we have a new paradigm that is available to us now. So we have a little extra help with solving some of those problems in our life that we haven't been able to get a handle on. Now, the way that most of us have operated, if we have been on this spiritual path for a while, whenever a problem presents itself in our life or a negative manifestation, most of us have been trained by our spiritual teachers to really dig into that, right? To do that shadow work, to start trying to figure out what is the source of this? Does this belong to you or does this belong to the collective? We have this very elaborate process that we have used as a spiritual community for years and years. But according to the Pleiadians, we have a new way to go about business in terms of dealing with those things in our life that we just haven't been able to solve. So according to the Pleiadians, whereas we used to have to dig into every problem, figure out where this started, did this happen when you were in kindergarten? Can you blame this on your mom? All those things that we're used to doing if we have done a lot of inner work. We're used to being detectives, right? To trying to get to the root of the problem. But what happens as we do this is we are putting ourselves squarely in the mind, right? Because anytime we are trying to solve a problem, we're pretty much guaranteed to be doing that from the mind. And of course, the mind is wonderful and we love it, but it's not great at solving problems because the mind is kind of like a computer. It only knows what it knows. So when we are trying to solve difficult life problems from the mind, we tend not to get very far. So according to the Pleiadians, there's a better way to do this. And that is to start turning our problems over to our higher self, to our master consciousness. Because as the P's like to say, at the time we created this problem for ourselves, and as we know, we created all of it. At the time we created this roadblock in our life from the perspective of our higher self, we also simultaneously created the perfect solution. But we can't see that solution from the mind. The mind doesn't know what the solution is. So the way the P's are encouraging us to start dealing with any of those sticky problems that come up in our lives is to just start handing it over to our master consciousness, to the part of us that knows the perfect solution. So we don't really have to go through that whole thing that we used to go through of trying to solve the problem, trying to figure out where it started. Who said what to whom? We don't have to do that anymore. So we now have the ability, as we have moved into these new energies, to just hand it over, to delegate, to let our master consciousness bring us the solution. So how do we actually do this? It is just as easy as it sounds. So whenever that next issue comes up in your life or that recurring one that you just can't seem to shake, just imagine that you are handing it over to your higher self who has already solved the problem. Because when you do this, an interesting thing happens. You get into neutrality about it. Because when we get into those mind spirals, when we're trying to frantically solve the problem, we're in the mind. And when we're in the mind, we are always in resistance. And resistance is what blocks the answer. So when you just mentally delegate whatever comes up, turning it over to your master consciousness, you stay neutral about it. You know it is being handled. And if you can stay neutral about anything that comes your way that may look to be a problem, what happens is you stay out of resistance, which means you're not blocking the solution. Because it's only our resistance that blocks the solution. So what the P's are encouraging us is to start turning anything that comes up that looks like a negative manifestation or that looks like a problem, turn it over to your master consciousness. And as you do that, you stay neutral. you stay out of resistance, which means the solution can find you that much more quickly. So that is what the Pleiadians wanted to share with us in this week's point of view. Let me know in the comments below. How are y'all doing in these energies? Drop that in the comment box. And while you're down there, don't forget, hit the subscribe button and the like button if you haven't done that yet. I'll see you next time. Bye.